Well, I suppose the overall goal, we sort of started at the end and we just want to qualify. Want to make sure that she qualifies for the Open. That's the first thing to get done. And then from there, use the Open as a chance to really get as much training as possible done while still being on the borderline of being able to be fresh enough to do a workout well. So for Cara, it looked like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were brutal days still, but still just normal once a day stuff. And then the Thursday was more of we'll call it a bro sesh, where it's more of just a lifting, no sort of crazy structures, let's just work on split jerk today, and good things come out of that. The Friday was going to be an active recovery day. One day was a 5K walk, the other day was a little bit of a light row, and then the Saturday was hit as hard as you can. So she's never going to be fully fresh, but at the same time, we didn't want to sacrifice any training time at all. Otherwise, it's a 5 week of training time gone. So it was always going to be one and done. And that was the reason we used to put the score straight away up so she's accountable for it. And it keeps her from thinking, I wonder if I can do any more. Because you know you can't, it's going to be put up and done. And if people want to chase or whatever, who cares? It doesn't matter, it's the Open. It's the regionals that we're really focused on and making sure that she wins that to go to the games.
Yeah.
That's it.
Awesome.
Worked well.
Yeah, I sort of follow the same thing. So, you know, obviously my number one goal is to qualify for regionals. So that's where it's at. That's obviously what I want to do. I want to do well enough to be able to do that. I also use it, I think Opens are a good opportunity just to have a bit of a gauge of where I am at in the last year. You know, I try not to sort of follow what everybody else is doing too much. So to come into something like this over 5 weeks, you know, you sort of get to test everything and compare it worldwide. So you get to have a bit of a look, see, you know, maybe what I need to work on a little bit more and things like that. So I kind of, you know, get that side of it as well and get the competition spirit going again. But otherwise, the number one goal is to still train hard and then, like Brian said, come in and still try and pull together something good enough to get me through and head to regionals. Yeah.
So you had basically programmed out in terms of Cara's programming for the full 5 weeks of the Open. Did you have to change anything when a workout turned up?
I program on what I want it to look like, but the movements are always going to be a week-to-week thing. I don't know what sort of like time intervals I want it to work at, so she's not going to be too overcooked and how much volume she needs to do, but still always keep that intensity up. So the structure is the same, but the movement I would do week to week depending on what she'd done last week. So for after this workout today, she's not doing pull-ups for a couple of days. There's no need to. She's already done a bunch today. So the movements would change, but the structure stays the same. Yeah.
In terms of each workout, so it gets announced, what's the process for you guys? Do you get together? Do you start talking about a strategy?
You start getting excited watching the Open video
There's
first.
there's an instant text that's like, oh my God, or did you see it? What do you reckon? Oh my God. Something like when we're both sitting at home on the computer, we're like, yeah, the feed's not working, what's happening? I don't understand it. What do you mean 4 minutes? So yeah, there's that like instant like, oh, okay, was it? And then like, okay, let's get excited. What are we going to do? And then always a chat in the afternoon. Thursday afternoon chat, you know, what do we think? You know, where are we going to have to work? Kind of numbers, have a bit of an idea of it. But then the ultimate goal is to do exactly what I need to do. Just go hard, do the workout well, and try and stick to a bit of a plan based on what the workout is.
Strategy, we come up with a strategy each time, but it's because it's such a different thing. Competing and training are two way different things. Like competing, you've got to make sure you can get the most out of that and the highest score possible, which is not always going to be intensity. For training, it's intensity, going hard, making sure she knows what she can do, what she can't do, and then just applying it on the Saturday. And that's it. So it's a pretty fun way to do it, really. When you got one of them to do each week, it's cool.
Yeah,
definitely.
So you did each workout just the once?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
Did you break it down, do a few rounds of each one? What was the, you know, did you try and get a sense of what it felt like before you attacked it?
Only on this last one.
Only on this one, yeah.
Because after watching the video, it was pretty clear that you needed a plan, and it was trying to suck you into let's just go nuts when that wasn't going to work for people. So we yesterday, was it Thursday?
No, Thursday, yeah.
Thursday we straight away went in, just timed a few rounds of different ways to do it, like an unbroken set, a 10 and a 5 set, and then a 6-5-4 set, and see which one will sort of work better for her. And applying that at the start, we ended up coming up with a lap time was 58 seconds, which is plenty of time to get through that next round. So we just played with that. The rest of them, though, they're simple movements, they're very basic, and we know that much about Cara now and the way she trains, and she knows how many muscle-ups she can do in a row, how many toe bars she can do in a row, when she's done with another movement, what it's affected like. So she already knows that stuff about herself. So it's just, let's just see how well she really did know herself by putting in a plan on a Saturday. And worked out awesome each time. I don't think we missed any, really.
No, I don't think we could have planned anything.
No.
If you think about it over and over again, I don't
Yeah.
think any other planning would have done anything. Ultimately, it comes down to knowing what you can do yourself. I can't do the plan that one of the other athletes can do. I just know exactly, like Brian said, what I can do and what numbers. I know that maybe that many muscle ups is going to be that one too many, or stop just before that, and then just hope that that works out. Yeah, hopefully I can bring it on the day.
Cool. And you, so each workout you actually do here at your box at CrossFit Raw with the rest of the clients when they're throwing down, does that work for you?
Yeah, I did that for the first time. Actually, no, I've always done that. I've always done that. It's just when I first started in 2011, we just didn't have very many people here. But yeah, I found that really worked for me last year. We've got such a, these are the people that we're around and that we have a really close relationship with, training wise and just in general. And to have them, they support me so much, and selfishly, I just really love that. To have to be here with them, it's the one opportunity where I get to train and be with them. So we're all competing on this level ground. It's exciting for them because they never get to see me. I'm just like a coach, just here. And then selfishly, I just love them cheering me on. It just helps me out having them all just backing me. They're just so excited for me, and I just love that. It helps. I'm so lucky to have it.
It's definitely important too, because she trains so hard all year by herself or just with one or two other people here, and that's tough, man. Doing that all the time is hard work. So this is sort of a reward for her. It's time to finally play and put all their training to action, and it's cool for her to use the crowd and motivation and the whole nervousness of performing in front of people, because you can't simulate that in regular old training. So when an opportunity arises to take it, you do it. So you can learn how to deal with the nerves, how to get the nervous energy out, warm up properly, and then be able to actually put it into place when it really matters. Yeah.
So you, at the end of last week, you were sitting in 12th worldwide, I think.
Yeah,
and
I think
posted,
so.
what looks like a pretty competitive score for this one.
Yep.
A big jump from this time last year. Have you met your expectations for the Open?
Well, like I said, my expectation was just to qualify. That was the first and foremost expectation. Obviously, within myself and within my own little bit of ego that nobody can help but have, you always want to still be somewhere. I always would have liked to just, as long as I stay maybe top 10 in Australia and New Zealand, because that just gives me a bit more competition in the heats when I get there. So that's definitely cool to have, but otherwise I really didn't have a specific number. I think it was yesterday, had a look just to see where I finished in the world last year, and it wasn't on the first page. I can't even remember where it was, so I've definitely made a huge jump, and I can't complain about that. So yeah, I'm stoked. I've definitely made progress. Yeah.
So Brian, the Open's over now. What's the big takeaway? Are there any learnings in terms of maybe areas that you will add to Kara's programming, that sort of stuff?
No, definitely not. I think she's right on track from where she needs to be. I think she was able to focus well on the primary goal, which was just do it and qualify and forget about the rest of it. At the start, it's easy to get caught up when people are putting in 2 and 3 different scores, but I think that was cut away after the first 2 weeks. That would have been my only little thing with her, was just tell her to stop. We had a rule, no leaderboarding at all. She's not allowed to look at it. Once she puts a score in, she can check it once, and that's it, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. I don't think the Opens are a good reflection of where people are at. It's just enough to get to the next step, and that's it. So in terms of her training, she's exactly where she needs to be, maybe even a little bit further ahead than where I thought she was going to be. So now it's just a good chance to have a chill-out week and then forget about the Open, because it doesn't matter anymore. It's just all about hard training for the regionals now. And that's it. That's the next stage.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Awesome. So I guess last question. So you mentioned the regionals before, a goal of winning the regionals.
Definitely.
What's from here? What do you got planned, I guess, to help bring that goal to fruition?
I'm going to use exactly the same sort of blueprint as I went through last year, because I think it worked really well. She'll do a couple of sessions in a day, but only 1 day a week, so I think it's important to do just the one and done for a regular training day, so she's not burnt out going to regionals. And the idea purely behind a multiple workout day, like 3 up to 5 in 1 day last year, built our way slowly to that, just so she learns how to warm up, do a workout, warm down, warm up, do a workout,
And
warm
food,
down, and
rest,
recover.
yeah.
Do it properly, so it's not a shock to the system, but only once a week. So she's ready, she's hungry for regionals, ready to go, and then more importantly, ready for another stint at the games. Otherwise, it's a ridiculously long season if you're just doing 2 and 3 sessions every single day. heck can you have a life? It's pretty,
Yeah.
it's pretty hard to have a bit of balance. So yeah, the blueprint's exactly the same as last year. Smash her really badly on one day, so she learns how to recover from that and deal with it, and go from there. That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well done. Great
Thank you.
performance on the open. It's
yeah, she did well.
It's done.
Yes.
cool.